us live on radio. So a very beautiful evening to you. This is an evening that I'm particularly excited about because it has to do with women going forward. It has to do with promoting women, and it has to do with, we making sure that women are able to get to the next stage, of their lives in terms of business and, getting on with the entrepreneurship that they have been in. So, yes, this is the May Women Engagement Series 2025, proudly brought to you by Women Radio WFM 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families, and of course, the Voice of Women Foundation. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser, and I'll be your host for today's Power Packed session. And today's session is on securing funding for women owned and led businesses. Okay, so that's what we're doing today, and we're thrilled to have you join us from across Nigeria. So, so we get women from different geopolitical zones of Nigeria. We don't join us for this webinar this evening, and this one I want we just to give us joy because we are going to share with you, things that you should know and, information that should be at your fingertips, in terms of securing funding for your business. So yes, we are definitely here for you, and we will definitely get on to make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. All right. So please, for those who have joined in this evening, please kindly drop your name and your phone number in the chat box. Okay. Just do that for us quickly. Kindly join as you're joining. Please drop your name and your phone number in the chat box. So would expect you to do that so that the goodies that we have for you will definitely reach you. Abi now, as our Women Radio Network members, say we get goodies for you. Plenty, Iboku safe. All right. So just do that for us, okay? Drop your name and your phone number in the chat box. As soon as you join, just quickly do that. Now, let's head on straight, okay? As we know, securing funding remains one of the biggest hurdles facing women entrepreneurs today. Now, from systemic barriers like lack of collateral and credit history to gender biases when it comes to lending, the way to getting capital for your business could be really tough sometimes, and it's not all women that have the patience to actually go through with that. Okay, so but today we're here to change that narrative, and that's why we're bringing women from different geopolitical zones. We're bringing women who are listening on radio. We're bringing women from different parts of Nigeria together this evening to hear from our guest speakers this evening who are going to show us the way, just through just shine the light, not through, just shine the lights, on the pathway for us to follow and, have a clearer direction of where we're going to and where we should be. All right. So the webinar today is not just talk. It's a toolbox. I would say it's a toolbox. Okay. You will leave this session equipped with actionable insights, real life examples and proven strategies that would help you access the funding your business needs to grow and thrive. So whether you just they start to, whether you they reason and say, I suppose start this thing today, I suppose start this one tomorrow, or maybe you don't even day inside the thing. You're just looking for more funding to expand your business, or you're a leader in your community and you're joining us today. This could be information that if you just go back, go share with other women too. This is definitely the place for you. So whichever stage where you don't find yourself presently, this one are the place where you go get everything where you desire, where you supposed to know in terms of how you want to get funding for your business, whether to improve them or whether to start them, or whether even at the ideas where you get the way to try put them together, the reason, okay, how I want to get money, how I want to do this one. This particular webinar we will do this evening now for you. And like I said earlier, we're also broadcasting live on radio. So if you're following on radio right now, please do want to send a message. If you have questions that will come up in the course of the sessions that would have, please do want to send your messages to 070-317-56537. That's your WhatsApp message. So you can do that or send us a text message to 08155 917 917. So before we head on to call our very first guest to take on her session, let's just go through some housekeeping rules. Say we supposed to talk some kind things. We go guide this webinar what we did do, just to make sure, say, all of us stay the same page. So first, make sure say you mute yourself, make sure say your microphone is mute unless time don't reach where you supposed to talk. Okay, unless time don't reach where you supposed to talk, I beg, just mute time. If we notice say you day unmuted, we don't call your name once, or we talk to you once, talk to you 2 times, and you know agree answer, we could just quietly come at you. And I'm sure that you don't want that to happen, Abby. So please, let's try as much as possible to keep to it. Okay, so please let your mics be muted, and then feel free to drop questions even as the sessions are going on. Drop your questions in the chat box. We'll definitely pick it from there and direct it to one of the guest speakers, or maybe you could just add the name of the guest speaker who you would want to answer that question for you. So just do that for us, all right? And after the two sessions we'll be having today, we will be taking 3 or 4 questions. Let's see what time can permit. Between 3 to 4 questions we'll be taking this evening. So you could just indicate that you have a question at the end of the 2 sessions, and then we'll take your questions, okay? Maybe we'll call on you to take your questions, just about 2 or 3. So that's why I'm saying now that, just they drop your messages or they drop your questions for the chat box so that we'll pick it from there. All right. And like I said, if you're listening on radio, do well to send a WhatsApp message or a text message, and we will definitely get that and channel it to the right speaker. All right. So please, when given a chance to speak, also try as much as possible not to use swear words. Don't forget we're going on radio. We are on radio presently. So please do not use swear words as much as you can. Try to avoid them. And if for any reason you have to expose yourself, please be properly dressed, okay? So that you don't get to overexpose yourself. You know what I mean? Okay. So please, let's just try to do that, okay? So that we can have a great time together while we learn. Okay, so these are the house rules for me. So as long as we all abide by this, I think we're fine and we're good to go. Okay, so yes, this is definitely going to be a good one. So I hope you have your biros, you have your jotters, because in this session, you are going to be jotting things down. Trust me when I say so. You are definitely going to be jotting things down. So I hope you're ready. Your mind is open. You are prepared. So even if you say, oh, I know these things, or I know how to go about it, calm down first. Just calm down, because you never can tell. You might just be learning something new at the end of the day. Okay, so please get your pen, get your papers, your jotter, because you are definitely going to be learning a lot of things today. So this is just the the beginning. This is for the May edition. We're going to have subsequent editions, and it's going to cover different topics. Okay, it's going to cover different topics. So I would want you to keep following so that we are aware of what is coming on next. Okay, so let's head on to the very first speaker for today. And of course, the very first speaker that we'll be having, that will be taking on, is Dr. Adiola Ogunyemi. All right, she is the first speaker that will be taking today, and she's going to speak on how to position your business to attract funding. All right, now, Dr. Adiola Ogunyemi is a seasoned financial services executive for over 26 years of experience. So you see, say no be anyhow person we carry come. Now she holds a BSc and a BSc education in economics from LASU, and MSc in global marketing from the University of Liverpool, and a DBA from Walden University. Now, Dr. Ogunyemi previously spent 20 years at Guaranty Trust Bank and worked as a consultant for top financial institutions and Manulife Investment Services in Canada. Her expertise spans risk management, strategic planning, business development, and leadership. She's a fellow of the Institute of Credit Administration and a member of several professional bodies. Passionate about mentoring, she supports the growth of emerging professionals. Dr. Adiola is currently the head of distribution channels and sales in consumer and commercial banking at EcoBank Nigeria. So let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Adiola Ogunyemi, who will be speaking on how to position your business to attract funding. Dr. Ajola Ogunyemi, over to you.
Thank you very much. Let me share my presentation. I'm hoping that you can see my slides.
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay, so I'm very mindful of the time, and I also want to make sure that participants have the opportunity to ask questions how women entrepreneurs can position themselves to get funding, to see how to support when women are supported. And this is not really trying to cast aspersions to men. These are just data that are available for anybody to check. Women would invest 90% or more of their families, while men, on the other hand, would invest 30 to 40%. So that makes a very clear business case for why we should support women, because it goes further. And I would like that you take this poll. Let's just see what stage your business is at. So I don't know if you've been able to scan the code. All right, so just some background to see where we are at, just to also let everybody know to look at some of the numbers. Now, typically we look at micro, small, and medium enterprises. Statistically, most companies are actually in the micro enterprise stage. This makes up 41.4%, which is about 96% of businesses. These are businesses that have annual turnover of 10 million, 100 million, and then medium enterprises above 100 to 1 billion. So it'll be interesting to know where each person fits. But like I said, this is the distribution. Now, in terms of the sectoral positioning, trading, wholesale, so if you're selling, you're a distributor, you're a carpenter, different sectors. So trading and distribution accounts for the largest contribution, agriculture next, and then other services. Even though we see ICT showing up a lot these days, in terms of contribution, it is still coming up. It's just that sometimes the impact gives the impression that it is more relevant. Now, I'd talked about why it's important to support women. To share a very quick story about impact, in a study in India, as part of trying to improve financial access, the government decided that what was the critical way to do this, looked at households and what do they do the most that they can leverage. So they decided to look at providing cooking gas. Everybody eats in their house, therefore they definitely are cooking. Initially, the government gave the support to men. What did they notice? They noticed that financial inclusion did not expand. They then decided that really women are the ones who take those household decisions. And by changing who received the funding support in the household, they were able to move financial inclusion up significantly. And today, even though India is maybe 5 times the size of Nigeria, in terms of financial inclusion, they're significantly ahead of us just by making that critical call. So it shows how important it is to support women and how supporting women leads to more access. Now, for Nigeria, not only do we top the continent in terms of number of female entrepreneurs, would say that that would be because we're also the largest country in Africa. But beyond that, on a percentage basis, Nigeria also far outstrips other African countries, as well as the global average in terms of the number of women entrepreneurs who do and trade every day in the country. So it shows a lot of impact that women make. Now, very people say we have a significant funding gap, and our conversation today is how can we help women to access more funding. Many women say that they've never accessed any funding beyond family and friends. Now, there's so much family and friends can do, and sometimes in also accessing those things, it's a bit hard to reach out to people. So we're looking at more formal and structured ways in which we can help Nigerian women to access funding. Significant issues around this access is limited to things, is defined by things like collateral. A lot of the time you are asked to bring collateral. You don't have it, even when you have it. Do you have title? Is it in a state that you can provide it to a lender? Of course, part of the infrastructural issues we have is having the data to determine who should we lend to. Now, in EcoBank, we have a product specifically tailored for women entrepreneurs. I'll speak about that more as we go along. And then again, whether we like to acknowledge it or not, there's some cultural bias about gender. People thinking, remember when the previous president, for example, President Buhari said women should be in the other room. Beyond that are also, the mindset that maybe women don't use credit well, whereas in real terms, we actually use it more. Of course, also because women are so focused on family responsibilities, these are some of the things that inhibit access to funding for women. So how can we, so the crux of the matter today is how can we help women to access funding? 7 steps that you will improve your chances of access to fund. One is, how is your business? If you register your business, it shows a clear sense of
Hi, Dr. Jolagwemi. Can you hear me?
Focus.
Can you hear me?
Now, to say that, yeah. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay, because we
Hello,
lost
can
you
you hear
for
me?
a bit there.
Apologies. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
All right. So, thank you. So I was talking. Okay, I understand that some people still can't hear me. I want to see if I can join on my phone as well. If it would improve the audio.
Okay.
So let's see.
All right. So while Dr. Jola Ogunyemi is trying to do that, we have seen some of her slides where she talks of how to empower women and some key barriers that are limiting women, to access loans. Now, when we look at some of the things that she has shared, I think for some, you would actually get to see that maybe we have experienced it in one way or the other. Maybe, just maybe, we might have experienced it. Maybe we would have gone through it. We're looking at cultural norms, we're looking at gender bias, we're looking at probably some, how rigid the loan application process could be, especially for women, and how sometimes women could have limited access to collateral. So when you look at this, I know for some entrepreneurs right now, when you look at what Dr. Ajola has mentioned or rather has shown on her screen, you will get to, tell yourself that, it be like, now waiting happens to me be this one, or now waiting I go through be this, no wonder. And then you just ask yourself that, you just tell yourself, okay, so what next? How do I go further from this? And then, it's that anyway, that's why we're here and we're going to learn more. Dr. Jola, are you with us now? Okay. All right. So for those who have joined, please the link to register for the Women Radio membership will be in the chat box. So please try to register and be a part of the Women Radio Network. And some of these things that we're doing here, you get to hear it firsthand. And of course, you'll be privy to more information, as regards to some of these webinars that we get to do. And not just the webinars. There's some other goodies that could come your way, when you are part of the Women Radio Network. So please try to join. Register through the link that will be dropped at the chat box. So please check the chat box and try to register to the Women Radio Network. That's for those who are not part of the Women Radio Network at the moment. Okay, so please try to do so as soon as you can. All right, so we seem to have Dr. Ajola back. Dr. Ajola, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
Excellent. So I was talking about the importance, how you can position yourself to access funding. One, register your business. Now, the cost of registration is not as high as a lot of people imagine. To reserve your name, 500 naira. To register as a sole proprietorship, 10,000 naira. That's simple investment. And I would like for people to understand that it is an investment, because it is part of how you are helping to make sure that the people who want to support you can see you and can see that you are serious about doing business, and that when giving money, you will use it judiciously. So please register your business at the Corporate Affairs Commission, get a tax identification number. Once you finish that, open a bank account. I always say to people, please make sure that when people look at your bank account, and when I say people, the people who want to give you money, they can clearly see everything you have said shows up. When you sell, make sure you are paying in the money. When money is going out, make sure that you have clear narrations for things you are using the money for. Please try not to mix up your personal money with the business money, so that it shows discipline and a lender can clearly see how money goes in and goes out of the account. Have a plan. What are you trying to sell? What makes you different? All right, because when you know what you are doing, and that will improve your opportunity to sell. Make sure you keep proper records, the receipts. If you loan yourself money, because sometimes people will say, okay, I just borrowed the money from the business. When you borrow money from the business, please keep a record of it and make sure that you are paying it back. If you use business money, if you want to use your business money, make it very clear what you are using it for. Don't just give it a narration, for example, that is not clear and somebody cannot tell what you're doing. Now, what we're doing today is a capacity building session. We're helping you to understand how to get access to funding for your business, how to expand your business. Please attend such session, not just about this topic, but about different topics that does not want to show. My camera must be shy because I keep turning it on and it keeps going off. We have something we call an SME growth series, for example, where we talk about different things, how to get inventory, how to manage your business, things like bookkeeping. We and we talk about what it means to business in those sectors. Please, the more relevant knowledge you gain, the better for you. And typically, all these sessions are free. Probably the only thing it will cost you is the data, but this is an investment in yourself, in your business, so that the more you know, the more you are able to take advantage of those things. Join trade organizations and cooperative societies. A lot of times people are people their association. So if you are a hairdresser, join a hairdressing association. If you're a market person, join the traders association. If you're a carpenter, if whatever it is you are doing, find the associations, join trade networks so that you see other people. People are able to share their knowledge with you. You are also able to share, and together, being visible where you are. Why is this so important? Because today, when people are looking for you, the fastest and most effective way is online. You just search. I look salon. If I want to do my hair, that's what I looking for. Some what you call them, people, a cobbler. Those are the things I do. So simple things like that will make you easier to find. And when you are easier to find, more people will patronize you. So please stay visible online and whatever. And today, a lot of the things you do, you don't need to even get anybody to do them for you. You can just learn the simple basic skills that will help you to position yourself online so that people can find you. Technology has become so simple. It has made it easier for us to reach places. Today, Nigerians are...
Dr. Jola.
Yes, please.
Okay, please, could you maybe turn off your camera so that the audio might just be better?
Okay, I've done that. Is it better?
Yes, just go ahead.
Okay, so today Nigerians are
okay. We're still having challenges.
It's still not working.
Yeah, that's what
is about this. I've changed my Wi-Fi source, but it just still...
Okay, just quickly run through the session. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just try again.
Okay.
It's
okay. All right.
I'm going to move from give me a minute. I'm going to move from this location and see whether...
Okay. So while Dr. Jola is doing that, I will just urge us all to look at the slide that she has presented to us. And this is just what she has put together from her experience, dealing with a new business or with people who are just trying to fund their business. Now, this, of course, are some of the things that she has shared, and I'm sure that she was just wrapping up on her session. Now, looking at it, from all of this, I'm sure that you'd be able to understand how you can position yourself to attract funding for your business. All right, so while Dr. Jola is trying to get herself, maybe we could give her a few seconds to see if she would be back so that she can wrap up the conversation before we move on to the next session we have. So let's see, hopefully we are
I am back again. Can you hear me better now?
All right, please just quickly wrap it up so that we can
okay, excellent.
Hi, Dr. Jola. Okay. So at this point, so Dr. Jola, I would just plead with you to probably try to get it right. Let's just move on to the next session. Okay. After the next session, we might just give you a few minutes so that you just wrap it up. let's just, head on to the next session while you try to maybe figure it out, and let's see if that will be better. All right. So, of course, that was a very, superb session coming from our very first guest today, Dr. Adeola Ogunyemi, who is currently the head of distribution channels and sales in consumer and commercial banking at Ecobank. She's been able to share a lot of information with us just within the little time that we had with her. Okay, so while she's trying to figure it out, let's just move on to
I'm back.
Rose, I think we should have the next speaker.
Yes. Okay. Dr. Adeola, let's just move on to the next session, and then maybe after that we could come back and finish up with yours. Maybe by then the network will be better. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next session we have. We are going to be having Aderonke Adeyinka. She's the head youth and women banking product, First Bank Nigeria. Aderonke Adeyinka is a highly motivated, focused and result-oriented senior level professional with over 19 years of hands-on and leadership experience in the financial industry, spanning operations, payments, and product management. Over the years, she has been instrumental in identifying and resolving service issues. She is reputed as a key resource to top business leaders and executives committed to continuous learning, development, and innovation. She holds a bachelor's degree in biochemistry from the University of Ibadan and master's degree specializing in oncology from the same university. Aderonke is currently the head youth and women banking in First Bank, where she's responsible for managing a growing portfolio across the bank's network. And today, she'll be sharing with us understanding available funding opportunities for women entrepreneurs in Nigeria. So please, let's give a warm welcome to Aderonke Adeyinka.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rose.
All right, so just before you go on, we just have 15 minutes so that we could just keep it within time.
All right, that's fine. Am I projecting or is someone projecting?
You could go ahead.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rose, for the very beautiful intro. I mean, I was just smiling with your pidgin and all. It was just a very interesting session. And thank you, Dr. Adeola. That was a very fantastic presentation from Dr. Adeola. I was looking at it and I was smiling. All right. So, can you see my screen? Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, let me see. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right, so thank you very much. Just like you said, I'll try to make it as snappy as possible. So we'll be looking at understanding the available funding opportunities for women entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Dr. Adeola has done a very fantastic job. I mean, she has told us that women and all about entrepreneurship. She has told us about the percentage of women entrepreneurs we have, and the fact that when you empower a woman, you can be sure that the money will be put to good use. So we'll be looking at the available funding opportunities for women entrepreneurs in Nigeria, knowing that they are going to be making the best use of whatever money that will give to them. Now, what are the available funding opportunities that we have? So there are three major types. We have grants, we have loans, and then we have equity investments. So what are these? So for grants is free money. You don't have to pay it back. Grants are non-repayable funds provided by the government, non-governmental organizations, corporations or foundations to support businesses, startups or projects, often with a focus on impact. The most important thing is that there must be an impact whenever you're given a grant. So a grant is free money. You don't have to pay it back. It's also purpose-driven. Is usually given to women for specific projects like women's empowerment, agriculture, and other things. It is also specific. It must meet eligibility criteria and prove impact or social benefit. No ownership is required when it comes to a grant. Grant providers, they don't take a share in your business. So examples are the high economy women's grant in Nigeria, and is ideal for early stage entrepreneurs. I remember Dr. Ogunyemi had taken a poll and she was asking what stage is your business in. So if you're an early stage entrepreneur, a grant is okay for you. I mean, it's applicable for you, suitable for you. It's also ideal for non-profits or social enterprises, and is also ideal for businesses with strong community or social impact. See, to keep coming back to that same fact, like Dr. Ogunyemi pointed out, you need to register your business, because if your business is not registered, there really is no footprint for any of those people to know you and give you a footprint. So you need to register your business, like she said. All right. So the other one we're looking at today is equity investments. Equity funding involves selling a share or ownership in your business to an investor in exchange for capital. You don't repay investors like loan. You give up partial ownership, and involves them becoming co-owners or shareholders in your business. Profit sharing, the investors earn returns when the business grows or when it exits. And then you also have mentorships and networks, because the investors often bring experience and connections. So what are the examples of the equity investments we have in Nigeria? You have venture capital funds like Future Africa or Greenhouse Capital. You can always look them up. We also have angel investors, and then we have the Google for Startups Black Founders Fund. These are equity investments available in Nigeria. So it's for high growth startups, example, tech and fintech companies, entrepreneurs that are open to sharing their businesses, and businesses with scalable, innovative models. That's what equity investments is all about. And then we go to the third category. I think I skipped one slide. All right, I missed this out. So loans, the third category are the loans. Loans are borrowed money that must be paid back over time, usually with interest. They can be from banks, they could also be from microfinance institutions, or they could be from government-backed programs. For a loan, you must repay. Typically, loans include interest and principal, and they require collateral. In some cases, collaterals are required. In other cases, it might not be collateral, it will be the amount of credit that has come into your account. Back to what Dr. Ogunyemi said again, the basics. You need to register your business, and you need to make sure that you're using your business for the right purposes. Make sure that there's a record of every credit that comes into your account. And if you are borrowing money from your business, make sure you return it. So those are the basics. You must register your business, and you must make sure that you are utilizing the account as it should be. So usually loans have fixed repayment terms. It could be monthly, it could be quarterly, it could also be over a specified period of time. So creditworthiness matters. They check your credit history, and then they also check your guarantor strengths. So examples of loans in Nigeria include the BOI Glow Fund for Women. We have the First Gen Funds by First Bank. We have the CBN Targeted Credit Facility, and then you also have the DBN loans in Nigeria. So what loans? I mean, what are they ideal for? So they're ideal for growth stage businesses needing capital for expansion, entrepreneurs with predictable income streams. So if you have a predictable income stream, the best source of accessing funds for you is a loan. For businesses with assets for collateral or personal guarantors, so if you have assets, you can use it to get loans to raise funds for your business. All right, so now looking at this, similarities among grants or loans. So for grants, all of them, all these three, whether it's a grant, whether it's a loan, or whether it's equity, the purpose is for all of them is to provide funding to help you grow your business. And due diligence, back to what Dr. Diola said. So you see, this thing is, they are all intertwined. You have to do them over and over and over again. So you require documentation, you require a business plan. Dr. Diola mentioned that as well. You require a business plan, and then you also require financial records as well. Eligibility, often you have specific requirements that needs to be met. So it could be based on the sector where you play. Dr. Diola talked about various sectors. It could be agric, it could be food and catering, whatever it is. It could be sales, it could be sales generally, or trade. You require some eligibility. All of them require some form of eligibility. And then when you talk of demography, that could be, I mean, it could be targeted at a particular sector, whether male, female, or it could be targeted at a particular age, maybe in a particular age bracket. So all of them have this in common. And then the impact, all of them can be used for job creation, capacity building, and economic growth. All of them, the whole essence is to have an impact on the society. All right. So now what are the differences amongst the three of them? So for grants, repayment is not required, but for a loan, definitely repayment is required. For equity, repayment is not required. For ownership, do you need to give over the ownership of your business? In the case of a grant, no. In the case of a loan, no, you don't need to give up ownership. But in the case of equity, yes, you need to give up some part of some ownership. So for grants, interest, no interest is paid. For loan, interest is paid. While for equity, interest is not paid. Now, when it comes to control of the business, for grants, full control retained. You retain full control of your business. For your loan, full control is also retained. For equity, you share the control with the investor. Now, what are the risks associated with all of this? For grants, the risk is very low. For a loan, the risk is medium. I'll say small, medium, high. It depends on you and how well you manage the loan, which is why Dr. Diola said you should have a focus. What exactly do you want to do? You should have the big picture in mind. What exactly do you want to do? So, I mean, if you know what you want to do and you have a plan in place, definitely it's going to be low risk because you're going to be repaying when it's due. And then also for equity, the risk, it depends on the investor relations. Now, funding amounts, depending on what you want, usually when it comes to grants, it's usually small to medium, the amount. For a loan, it's usually medium to large. And then for equity, it can be large. What's the speed of this disbursement? For our for the grants, it's slow to moderate. So if you're in need of quick money, you can't just go immediately to say it's a grant you need because it might take a while. And then for loan, it's moderate. The speed of disbursement is moderate. For equity, it varies and it can take long due to negotiations. So what are each of those best for? So for the grant, it's best for early or social impact startups, while for loan is for revenue generating businesses. You've already started your business, you already have your history, you've run the business for 6 months or even 1 year, and it's already generating revenue. You are very eligible for a loan. So you have scalable, high growth startups. That's what is best for. That's what equity is best for. Sorry, I'm rushing because of the time, but I hope you can hear me and I hope you are getting a cue or two. Can I just get a thumbs up in the house if you're flowing with me? Can I get a thumbs up? Are we together, Rose? I hope we are on track and everybody can hear me.
We
Thank
can hear.
you.
Yes,
All right. Thank you very much. So which should you choose? If you need money fast and you can repay, you get a loan. If you want to grow big and fast, but you don't mind sharing the ownership, go for equity. If you want funding with no repayments, but you can wait and meet the criteria, seek a grant. So you can see you have a lot of flexible options on what you can do with the various funding opportunities that we have. So now, because I'm from First Bank and we've talked about loans, we're going to be telling you what First Bank has to offer you. And for First Bank, we have the First Gem Funds. Interestingly, the First Gem Funds is specifically for women that have 51% ownership in their business. So if you're a man and you come to us, we will not give you the business, or we will not give you the First Gem Funds. Or if you're a man and or if you have a business and it's 50% ownership, no, it has to be 51% female ownership because this is specifically for women. And the good thing is that the interest rate is 9% per annum. 9% per annum comes to 0.75% per month. I'll tell you what this means at the end of the day to show you that it's a very cheap loan and it's only affordable to it's only applicable to women. So you can get as much as 7.5 million in the First Gem Funds. Only women can access it, and the tenure is usually from 12 to 24 months. It depends on the kind it is. If it is that you want to buy assets, we can give you for 24 months. But if it's just for the daily running of your business, it can run for 12 months. The management fee is 1%, and then the Keyman insurance, because you should insure the loan, and then the renewal fee is 0.5% on every anniversary. So when you're saying 9% per annum, what exactly does this mean? So let's say you take 1 million loan at this 9% that we are talking about, and you take it over a 24 months period. Simple interest and monthly interest only on payments with the principal repaid at the end. So every month, they are going to be paying 0.75%. That means that's 0.75%. That's just 7,500 that you're going to be paying. So over the 24 months, you're going to be paying back 180,000 at the end of the day. So I mean, when you're paying back everything at the end of 24 months, you're going to be paying the bank 1,180,000. This interest rate is very good. I mean, there's none other like it in the industry right now. Interest on loans is going for about more than 30%. So this is a very good loan, which is why you need to keep records so that you can be eligible for this. I mean, you don't need to have an account with First Bank. You can bring in your statement of account from any other bank that you've run for 12 months. You bring it, and once you find out that you're eligible based on the various sectors, you are eligible for that loan. What are the other features of our First Gem Funds? It's only applicable for some sectors. So you have the food and beverage and packaging industry. You have the confectionaries, catering and restaurants. For restaurants, it's on an exceptional basis. So we also have transportation and logistics. That's for dispatch and delivery services. And then we have the beauty, cosmetic products as well. And then we have the agric, the agro-allied, and the retail of food value chain. So these are the eligible sectors. So if you look at these sectors, if you're playing in any of them, you're eligible for the first GEM funds. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for taking us through all of that. I mean, that was really mind-blowing, just straight to the point. And I'm sure that a lot of us actually followed up, with what Aderonke Adeyinka has told us today. From what she was saying, you could see that it almost, is intertwined, like she said earlier, with what Dr. Jola Ogunyemi was trying to take us through. So at the end of the day, the processes are there, and some of the things that you need to have in place also, the same documents that you should have, and probably the same process, maybe just a bit of difference for First Bank and EcoBank, but I mean, it's almost the same. All right, so thank you very much once again, Aderonke Adeyinka, for your session. We do appreciate taking us through this, even if I know the time was a bit short, but thank you for doing justice to that. So we'll quickly go into our interactive session right now. And if you have questions that you'd want to ask, would be taking in what we'll be taking in, maybe just two, because of our time, 2 or 3 questions. Let us get to hear from you. So if you have a question, maybe just indicate by raising up your hand, and we'll take your questions. And then feel free to drop your questions too in the chat box. So far, I can see one question on the chats from the chat box, and I'll definitely take that. But if you have a question, do want to raise your hand, and we will definitely, bring you up to take your questions. Let's go to the one we're having right now. And this particular one is from Bemisola Mukwenye. I hope I got that right. I'm sorry. But this is going to our very first speaker for today. And the question says, I have a question. I have an EcoBank account, in brackets, Express Points POS. Before I registered my business, I'm using that account for business. Now that my business is registered, how do I reconcile it? Can I get a loan with same account? Now, this is going for Dr. Jola Ogunyemi from EcoBank. So, Dr. Adiola, could you answer Gbemisola on this?
All right, thank you very much for that question. I hope you can hear me much better now. So, yes, Gbemisola, I want to assume that since your business has a different name, we will open an account for that business. But the history that you have on your personal account, we will consider that in looking at the total picture of who you are and your qualification for accessing any loan. So yes, you can access a loan from us with those details. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So that's for Gbemisola. I hope that you have heard what Dr. Jola Ogunyemi has said, and you definitely go through with that. So if you have any other question, please drop it on the chat box, or let us know if you have, if you want to ask the question yourself, and we will definitely bring you up. Okay, so yeah, Frieza, your hands are up. Please go ahead.
Oh, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Teresa. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for this beautiful opportunity given to us. Some of us are really very new in entrepreneurship venture. And though the little knowledge that we have before venturing, I try to apply it. I was able to register my business with the registration name. But today I'm hearing that for you to position yourself to get funding for growth and support, you need to have a dedicated business account. You need to be able to be paying your taxes and all of that. Now, at what point should a young business pay tax, and how? And then I'll need a guide on how to go about opening a business account, a business account, yes.
All right. I can answer that question if it's okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
All right. So, Theresa, thank you. I think you're on the right path. So, to be clear, we recommend that you register your business. You have done so, very well done. Now, according to the Federal Internal Revenue Service, that's the organization that manages income taxes in Nigeria. Unless your total revenue is more than 25 million, your tax is zero.
Great.
However, so until you make 25 million, you don't need to pay any tax. But even though you are not paying tax, you should still file your tax, because if you don't file, they will not know that you are not actually making 25 million. So please file your tax. They've made it very simple. You can do it yourself. You can do it online. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to see anybody. The process is very smooth. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, yes. Okay, but how do I get the link for the online filing of the tax?
So if you go to the federal FIRS, is their short name. If you go to FIRS website, you'll see it there.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're
I'm
welcome.
grateful. Yes, ma'am.
And well
Right.
done.
Okay, thank you, Theresa. I hope that you've been answered. So we have one on the chat box, and this one is coming from Jamila Ibrahim
Rose.
to now.
Hi, Rose.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to
Hi.
ask if the First Bank speaker is also willing to answer that question for us, you know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which
All right.
which one now?
Adorinke?
Because I mean, yeah, Dr. Adela has answered it very well, so I don't have any other additions to that. I mean, talking about the filing of tax and all of that, she has answered all that needs to be here. So no, I don't have any other addition. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So this one is coming from Jamila Ibrahim to know, and it says, thank you for this class. I've learned a lot. Can we get interest-free loans, as my religion does not allow loans with interest? Now, we're aware that Lotus Bank and Jais Bank, who are Islamic-oriented bank, do this. But do we know is First Bank, is EcoBank open to this? Let's start with Dr. Adorinke from First Bank. Is First Bank open to this?
You've added doctor to my name. Hey, thanks to Dr. Adela. I'm becoming a doctor.
Oh yeah, that's a promotion. That's a promotion.
Please receive
Thank
it.
you. I receive it. I receive it. Thank you. All right. So no, as at today, no, First Bank does not offer interest-free loans as at today. But you know, like I told you, I mean, what we've given is a very discounted rate. So as at today, no, we don't offer interest-free free loans as at today. Remember. Thank you.
Okay, so Dr. Jola Goyemi.
Neither does EcoBank. So currently, we do not offer interest-free loans.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Jamila Ibrahim, I hope that your question has been answered. Okay, so if you still have, we still have a few more minutes to do this, so you can go ahead and raise your hands. Let's pick one more person. Let's pick one more person for this. All right, Folashade, go ahead. Folashade, can you hear me? All right, let's go to the next person.
I can hear you. Hello. Good evening.
All right. Go ahead,
Good
Folashade.
evening. Thank you for this wonderful section. It's actually quite impactful. I'm into agriculture and I'm into animal rearing too. I'm at the early startup. Is there any facility that I can actually get? I have like 2 hectares that I'm running for sesame seed and hibiscus flower. Support that I can get at the early start now.
Okay, so would you want each of them to answer?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with Dr. Dela Ogunyemi.
All right, thank you. I believe that was Folashade that asked that question.
Yes.
Now, I would like to put some financial advice into this. When first of all, there are various government support programs for startups, right? They are usually, and at the end of my presentation, I actually have a link to some of those funding sources. They're usually cheaper. I would recommend that at your early stage, as much as possible, access all the free money, whether by grants or by subsidized rates. Because if you are not careful and you take a loan at that early stage, when your business still needs to grow, what will happen is that you may find out that you cannot afford the cost of the loan because, like Adewonke rightly pointed out, loan carries principal, it has interest. So you have to pay it back. There are actually a lot of grants. Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, for example, funds startups. They also provide training. We at EcoBank would provide you with capacity building. So we'll help you, guide you. We have an agri desk, for example. But for the loan part of it, I would recommend that you wait for your business to have stabilized a bit before approaching the loan option. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Adorinke.
And I like Dr. Adeola. I mean, she's been very sincere with you. I mean, a loan, like she said, you need to make sure that your business is very grounded before you take a loan, so that at the end of the day, you're not struggling and all of that. So, I mean, I agree with everything she has said, and I'll share the same ideas. And when your business is grown a bit, I mean, remember, agric is one of the sectors I mentioned that the First Gen Funds covers. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So I was just told Towan is here and she would want to say one or two on the interest-free loans. So
thank you very much, Rose. Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we can.
So to the lady who asked if I think she referenced Islamic.
Yes,
She said, "Are there can we get interest-free loans, as my religion does not allow loans with interest?" So she's a Muslim. Okay, she's a Muslim, and there are banks in Nigeria. I'm aware of Lotus Bank. I'm aware of Taj. And I'm aware of Jaiz Bank, because they are Islamic oriented banks. You know, sometimes they do give the interest-free loans that the lady is talking about. So she may want to approach Lotus Bank, Jaiz Bank, and Taj Banks in her community. Thank you, Rose.
All right, thank you too.
There's also the Alternative Bank.
Okay.
Alternative Bank.
So, yes, that's the name. They also offer interest, non-interest. It is also important to understand the difference between non-interest. It's not interest-free, it's just non-interest. So the way in which they earn their income is different, but it is not free. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Now, there's a question here, and this one says, is there any facility for women in mining industry? Let's start with you, Adorinke, with that. Do you have any facility for women in mining industry?
At the moment, we don't have any specific loan for women in mining industry, but we have various other loans in the bank. But it's just that the interest rates are also the same as what we have for commercial.
We can hardly hear you.
Okay, is it better now? I haven't changed location. Is it better?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Is it better? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
She sounds far away.
Yeah, she sounds a bit.
I haven't changed my location, so it's network here.
Oh, it's better.
Okay, it's better now.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
thank
go
you.
ahead.
All right, so I said no, we don't have any specific loan for women in the mining sector as of today, but we have other loans generally, and then but they are also they are the commercial rates. So we have loans for women, we have loans that they can apply for in the bank, but not specifically targeted at the mining industry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Diola, any at Ecobank?
None. I would also ride on what Aderonke has said. While saying there's no specific, that does not also mean that a woman in mining, what we look at is what is the purpose of the loan? What are you using it for? Are you using it to expand your business? Are you using it to buy assets? Are you using it to buy inventory? So nothing is foreclosed as long as there's a clear business case for the requests. Thank you.
All right, thank you too. So I think we'll take one more question. We'll just take one more question from the audience. All right, let's go to Kuye Ingbeoma. Kuye, go ahead and ask your question. Are you there? We can hear you. Okay, so let's give Talk Now Kratz a chance.
A very good evening to all of us.
Good evening.
My name is Glory Ohago. So it is the Talk No Kratz. Thank you very much.
Oh, Technocrats. Okay.
Thank you so much, Women's Radio, for putting this all together. It's quite enlightening, and it gives us much more wisdom on what to educate other women, especially for us in the media and those who work on radio, because information is king, queen, and key. But the question I'd like to ask Bank and First Bank is, do you have facilities? It might not be like loans, interest or non-interest. It might be like grants or supports for women in the creative sector. Is there any such thing available? Thank you.
Thank you. So, Aderonke, that was for you, First Bank.
On a case-by-case basis, we don't have any grants as are today targeted at the creative industry or any industry, but on a case-by-case basis, we review these requests, and if you find them eligible, we go ahead and grade them. But we don't have any in particular as of today, but we do give out grants to women from time to time. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. I think that's the much we can take for questions, and we'll come to. All right, let's try Kuye again. Since we tried earlier, but we couldn't hear. Kuye, can you hear me?
I think it's a network. Kuye, can you hear us? Or we give Folashade the opportunity.
All right, so Folashade will be the last person we can take because of our time. Folashade, please go ahead.
I have asked my question.
Oh, okay, great,
Yeah.
great. All right,
Thank
so
you.
I think that's it. That's much we can take on the question and answer sessions. I'm hoping that this has actually been a very good one and a very informative session for us. So do well to drop your numbers for those who have joined, all the participants. Drop your name and your number so that we're able to get that for, just a little token to say thank you for joining. And then if you found this webinar very useful, please do well to mention in the chat box, okay? So just drop it there. If you think that this one, it really makes sense for you, you learn well, I beg, drop them, make we know. And then if you give us suggestions as to, some of the topics you want us to be covering, because this is a monthly webinar we'll be having. So please do well to drop some other suggestions on what you would want us to cover during the webinar. So other topics you want us to cover during the webinars, please do well to drop them too, so that we'll be able to work on it and bring it for you. All right. So
Also,
yes,
Iris,
that's it.
say yes. Also, I wanted to mention that we've dropped the Women Radio Network link for some of those
Sure.
who might not have registered. Please do well to register on the Women Radio Network platform. It will be well to do you good, because that's where we'll be sharing future trainings like this, future benefits of trainings like these, how to access loan, how to be better entrepreneurs in our different communities. Please do well to register on the Women Radio Network link that's been dropped on the chat box. Register and join the WhatsApp platform. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Taiwo, for giving us that information. All right. So I'm sure that we've had a very powerful and insightful session today. A huge thank you to Dr. Adiola Ogunyemi and Aderonke Adeyinka for not just sharing knowledge, but for unlocking doors for women across Nigeria. And to all our participants, thank you very much. And of course, if you found it very useful, please do well to drop it so that we can thank our guest speakers as much as we can for sharing the knowledge they have brought to us. So here is a call to action for each and every one of us. Apply the strategies you shared today. Explore available funding products, connect with financial institutions. EcoBank has just been here, has spoken to us. First Bank has spoken to us too. So connect with financial institutions, and most importantly, don't stop dreaming. Okay, don't stop dreaming. So let's all put on our cameras for a group photograph. Yes, please put on your camera so we can have a group photograph. Let's have a group photograph. Okay, so we're waiting for some others to put on their cameras. Okay, so while we're doing that, let's watch out for our next webinar for June. That's why we're asking you for some topics that you would want us to cover. So just drop it there. Watch out for our next webinar for June, so we can get to email that to you directly. So you can also drop your email addresses so that we get to email that to you directly. All right, so are we good with the photograph? Oh, yes, yes. All right, so, well, like I said, watch out for our next webinar at June. I'm sure that you would all want to be a part of it. All right, so let's continue to break funding barriers, unlock economic opportunities for women everywhere. So, until next time, my name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Stay empowered and keep pushing forward. Thank you and goodbye. Have a great evening.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be in this
Listening to
conversation.
radio at WFM 917 every day.